Part 1 of 10. Welcome. Today, we delve into the secrets and mysteries of World War II that still remain hidden deep within history. Imagine a nearly perfectly preserved P-40 Warhawk fighter plane discovered in Egypt, shot down over 78 years ago, and its pilot, merely a pilot transferring the damaged aircraft between airfields. Why did such a rare artifact end up in the desert? Meanwhile, on the other side of the world, the wreckage of the legendary Mitsubishi A6M0 found in the Pacific Ocean. Could this discovery completely alter our understanding of naval battles? And what is concealed within the secret complex in Austria? Buried underground, laboratories or factories long forgotten by authority? In this world of contradictions and hidden truths, how are the discoveries of bombers in the Philippines, the mysteries of the Finkelstein family, and unexplained underwater wrecks off the coast of Norway interconnected? Why do entire key pieces of history, from lost documents to sunken ships, vanish? And how could they fundamentally change our perception of war? Because this is not just about archival facts. The real stakes are the true scope of human humility and villainy, the funding of secrets and politics, the fates of heroes and victims about whom we knew little. Today, we will put all doubts to rest, reveal the truth hidden behind millions of layers of lies and legends. And if you are ready to face the unknown pages of history, let's begin. In the distant 20th century, war unfolded on millions of fronts, across endless expanses and hidden depths, leaving behind not only destruction and death, but also mysteries that continue to intrigue historians, archaeologists, and enthusiasts of secret knowledge today. This conflict, spanning the entire globe, was not just a clash of nations. It was a game of shadows, strategies, secrets hidden behind the walls of covert laboratories, ships, bunkers, and even in the most inaccessible corners of the world. And modernity is gradually unveiling the curtain behind which facts are concealed, sometimes as a void in history, sometimes as carefully masked evidence, encouraging ongoing investigations. Today, we speak of secrets sought deep within the seas, uncovered in archaeological excavations, stored in forgotten archives, and of those who kept or sought these secrets in order to trace a thread to the truth. This chapter is a portrait of the search and discovery, an attempt to understand the role that intelligence and artifacts played in shaping fear, victory, and perhaps a peace that never was. The history of war cannot be understood without considering what is hidden behind the closed doors of intelligence agencies. In 1930, when the shadow of war had not yet emerged and Europe was absorbing its last drops of peace, the shadows of intelligence and counterintelligence were already forming on the conflict's stage. But it was precisely the following year, when the fascist machine began inexorably rolling across the continent, that operational secrets became crucial. And who could have imagined that one of the most mysterious discoveries, the nearly perfectly preserved P-41 Warhawk fighter, would be found decades after it fell in the Egyptian desert? In 1920, during the summer, in the heart of the desert, among rocky hills and sands, the wreckage of an Australian aviator, pilot Dennis Copping, was examined. He was performing a mission to transport heavy equipment between British airfields that June. And now, decades later, amidst the endless sands, sunset and dawn merge in a scene where the ominous silhouette of a combat aircraft rises under the sunlight, its metal body a testament to an era when every detail mattered. An investigation reveals that this plane is not just a loss, not simply debris. It's living proof of mysterious operations rooted at the very heart of war, devices few knew about, which today help shed light on the mechanisms of global power struggles and survival. But the most incredible discoveries are not only in frozen metals. During wartime and the post-war era, a chain of illusion operations, so-called phantom armies, was activated. American intelligence devised a secret unit, 1,000 talented artists, sound engineers, designers, and special effects specialists, brilliant and clever to play the role of real troops. Their minds reflected not only military scale, but also a global psychological trick capable of confusing the enemy and even shifting the course of battles. These clones and disguises were used at key moments, during the Normandy landings and the fierce Battle of the Bulge. Fully artificial fortifications were created, false radio transmissions sent, illusions designed to distract and deceive the enemy. Today, in the stillness of archaeological excavations, traces of these technologies are found. Paintings, memoirs, vanished documents, whispering about how intelligence services did not always rely solely on weapons and espionage, but also employed art, deception, and illusions. Each piece of evidence is a brick in a vast mosaic, showing that war is not only fought on fields and seas, but also in the mind, in the realm of information and illusions. Discovering the wreckage of the legendary P-84 aircraft is a separate chapter in the history of World War II mysteries. In 2000, off the coast of New Guinea, in the ocean's misty depths, remains were found that looked unlike any others. They were the remains of a P-38 Lightning, an aircraft that belonged to the squadron of Ace Richard Bong, a hero of aerial combat. For many years, it was believed this plane was lost at sea in the Pacific, swallowed by a storm or captured by the depths. But underwater vehicles, sonar systems, and modern expeditions using 21st century technology led to this sensational discovery. The evidence is irrefutable. These wreckage remnants prove that even decades after the explosion, after disappearance, traces of war can remain deep beneath the surface and serve as a key to understanding the pilot's fate and thus the history of aerial connections, when every second could have been the last. The complexity lies in the fact that many mysteries remain unsolved. Who exactly shot down this aircraft? What military operations were concealed behind this act? Perhaps the traces point to unusual circumstances, military secrets still shrouded in mystery. The German Navy was not left out either. One autumn day in 1991, near the coast of Denmark, at a depth of nearly 5,000 meters, a picture was discovered. Ruins and debris suggesting the existence of the legendary battleship Bismarck. Its sinking became one of the most dramatic and well-known events of naval warfare. But only in 2000, with the help of new technologies, was it possible to confirm its sinking site. An incredible wealth of material evidence that allows us today to understand the scale of the loss. What happened is not just an archaeological find. It is proof of how, over time, through decades, the fates of heroes and tragedies continue to reveal their secrets, confirming that the story of war is not only about numbers and dates, but also about destinies forever etched in the depths of the seas. These testimonies show that underwater discoveries help reconstruct the true history of great battles, wars, and human contributions to them. Operations of the secret world continue even today. In the 21st century, in one of the most closed places on the planet, ancient China, a system of underground complexes was discovered, presumably linked to the history of the so-called Unit 731. These underground nodes housed brutal experiments on living subjects, hiding terrible secrets of biological and chemical testing. The evidence found in the underground labyrinths, records, personal diaries, and medical reports, now allow specialists to determine the scale of the crimes, the profiles of scientists and victims. This is evidence that the horrors of war go deeper than massive battles. They penetrate into the shadows, where humans cease to be human. From time to time, discoveries open doors that were previously sealed forever, prompting questions. What else is hidden beneath the layers of history? And how do the wars of the past shape our present reality? After the war, hundreds of expeditions were dedicated to studying and excavating secret sites in post-war Germany. In Austria, ancient tunnels have been found, Clandestine factories, unnoticeable but crucial for understanding the military strategy of that era. They concealed production facilities, weaponry, possibly even the creation of aircraft or other weaponry of extraterrestrial and human scale. These discoveries highlight that beyond the obvious stories of front lines and battles, beneath the surface of war lies a vast network of secret enterprises, lost in the clouds of time, which hold not only secrets, but also truthful evidence of the scale of human cruelty and technological progress. But what remains most astonishing is not only what is hidden, but that all these findings are only the tip of the iceberg. The mechanisms of war memory incorporate not only artifacts of the past, but also secrets of the present. Within the depths of post-war years, collections of Nazi symbols are found, including vanished diaries of Hitler and his books, as well as secret bunkers and storages with weapons and documents that could overturn our understanding of power and the nature of evil. In the year 2000, in Świnoujście, Poland, a city full of secrets, a giant Fat Man bomb was accidentally discovered, capable of exploding at any moment if not for timely intervention by specialists. The destruction and disarmament of this nuclear bomb serve as a reminder that the dangers of war are not only in combat, but also in the depths of forgotten arsenals. In Berlin, a bunker belonging to Goebbels was found, hiding secret documents and evidence of the rise of the Nazi leadership. This chain of discoveries continues to grow, showing that the history of war is not only about battles, but also about people, secrets, and dark corners that demand our attention and study. Meanwhile, labyrinths of underwater and land secrets are merging into one. Investigations into the site of the Indianapolis catastrophe, sunk after a Japanese torpedo attack, reveal the scale of the sea as a place of unseen battles, losses, and heroism. The extent of these lost ships is so vast that only modern technology allows us to reconstruct their fates and understand the high cost of victory. The ongoing search for other lost submarines, such as the Japanese PRI, constantly reminds us that even today, decades later, humanity still seeks answers buried in the depths of oceans and underground, aided by new mechanisms that enable us to see what was previously hidden. In conclusion, all these archaeological discoveries, technical finds, and testimonies are not mere coincidences. They are the building blocks of a foundation that helps us understand the grandeur and brutality of this era. They expand our knowledge, transporting us to places where humans face their darkest aspects and aiding us in continuing the journey toward truth. This is their main purpose, to reveal those hidden pages of history that have remained locked in dark chambers of time until now. Their significance lies in reminding us, war is not only noise and flames. War is also a collection of mysteries, preserved deep within symbols, artifacts, and documents that demand honest investigation. And each new lesson is a step towards understanding that true magic lies in preserving memory, seeking the truth, and uncovering the mysteries that change our perspective on the past and help us build the future. Because these discoveries, these testimonies, the archaeological and technological breakthroughs form a complete, honest picture of the war itself, the most terrifying, the most mysterious, and the most significant chapter in human history. In the ocean's depths, near the distant Philippine Islands, where the darkness of night hangs as impenetrable as the serenity of the sea, something much more important than just wreckage was found. Something uncovered in the constant battle between cold currents and waves during one of the quiet but fateful moments of the 25th century. There, amid restless waves, the ruins of a battle theater revealed themselves, buried for centuries beneath the ocean's depths. The wreckage of the cruiser Musashi. This giant of the Japanese fleet, a symbol of Japanese ambitions and strategic superiority, vanished from naval charts over half a century ago, leaving behind only legends and ruins. But in 2015, modern archaeologists and historians were granted a rare opportunity. Discovered were the remains of the bow section and side structures, witnesses to how death caught this cruiser at the peak of its combat power. They served as proof not only of Musashi's fate, but also as a testament to technological progress in marine research. In this discovery lies not just fragments of corroded metal, but a key to understanding the tactics and strategies that determined the outcome of the battle for dominance in the Pacific during the most extensive war in human history. The journey to the seabed was the result of years of effort by scientists, engineers, and divers. The use of modern underwater robots, magnetic and hydroacoustic systems, allowed us to look face to face with ancient secrets without exaggeration. Sensitive sensors, shining cameras, and sample collection systems, all these combined helped to confirm the ship's location and to build a more complete picture of the battle, shedding light on the technological capabilities of the time. Technology that once seemed unreachable now serves as proof that the feedback on technological progress is not just words, but a reality that changes our view of the past. These discoveries help reconstruct a full image of the large naval battle, revealing the meanings and strategies encoded in the ruins. Yet no less important is the fact that these deep-sea finds serve far more than just as historical testimony. They create a bridge between the past and the future, allowing us to understand how strategic plans, technological innovations, and the human factor intertwined in decisive events of yesteryears. After all, each detail of the cruiser is not merely a piece of metal, it's proof of an epic, pivotal moments, decisions that changed the course of history. This is a reconstruction of lost maps, route plans, data on combat systems, and information about the people who fought there, where even today only the waves tell tales of those epical clashes. Similarly, the fates of other ships and submarines, discovered in the most unexpected corners of the earth and seas, have acquired such depth and scope. In Norway, where underwater depths are covered with moss and the darkness of history, the wreckage of the British submarine Teasel was found, a victim of German U-boats. Their investigations are not merely archaeological finds, but key to understanding the tactical aspects of naval battles, strategic confrontations, unseen and sometimes just as brutal as land conflicts. There, in the depths of Norwegian fjords and bays, a few minutes' moment can erase all traces, leaving behind only a shadow, only a memory of battles, of deadly games of intelligence and strength. When talking about underwater mysteries, we cannot remain silent about the legendary Vistula River, discovered for the first time. In its cold waters lay the sunken T-1, a living witness to those terrible years when the Soviet front was assaulting the enemy. On the bottom, like a forgotten artifact, remains a combat tank, immobile, like a ghost. Inside it are ammunition and personal belongings of the crew, as if frozen at the moment when death was close enough. This find is not just a metal relic of an era. It is a breath of reality, a confirmation that behind mere numerical facts lie lives, destinies, and the history of entire generations. Such discoveries enable us to understand the military power these machines possessed, and how this power changed throughout the struggle for survival. Among the growing archaeological discoveries revealed to the world, a special place is held by the find in Austria. There, deep within old forests and mountain slopes, secret tunnel systems covering 45,000 square meters were discovered. At first glance, it seemed meaningful. A factory, a laboratory, or perhaps an underground secret complex of the Third Reich. But diving into the labyrinths of these tunnels, scientists found much more. The remains of laboratory rooms, equipment, clues, evidence of how, in seclusion, new weapons, scientific ideas, and secrets were developed that later influenced entire eras. These are tangible, real objects embodying technological progress during a savage epoch. Parallel to this, archaeologists in Poland, in a region shrouded in the fog of time, discovered an abandoned and almost forgotten complex, a destroyed bunker where According to evidence, a diary of an SS officer was hidden. In these writings are traces of a path, directions not only about armored units, tanks, and tactics, but also about hidden treasures concealed across Europe. Over 30 tons of gold, hidden under the command of secret bunkers, proof of how deep the bloody legacy of the Nazi regime was. These documents and evidence reveal not only evil and greed, but also indicate that personal ambitions, betrayal, gold, and secret agreements were behind the global events. At the other end of Europe, in the United Kingdom, archaeologists raised from the seabed one of the symbols of heroism, of those fighting for freedom and unbreakable will. There lies the Dornod 17 bomber, one of the steel witnesses to the Battle of Britain. This aircraft had long been a forgotten artifact, but its resurfacing is a true revival of an era when the sky was a battlefield. Its well-preserved armament and crew details allow us not only to see the technical side of wartime, but also to understand the human factor, the spirit, hopes, and fears of the pilots who fought to defend their country. Equally important are the discoveries in Spain. There, in one of the snow-covered forests in southern Spain, a B-24 Liberator aircraft, missing in the military fog of Papua New Guinea, was found. After extensive searching and analysis of the wreckage, an 11-man crew was recovered in 1943. These remains serve as double evidence. Firstly, that even in the most remote corners of history, living witnesses remain. And secondly, that modern search technologies can bring them back to a prominent place in memory. The recovered evidence and weaponry help us understand the tactical role of this aircraft and its crews in the vast, brutal tyranny and struggle for survival. It is foolish to think that wars are only land and air confrontations, on dry land or in the sky. Beneath them lie rear operations, forgotten or concealed, which today become part of the historical legacy. In Russia, on the Don River, there is a T-Spartan tank, a participant in a unique era, the Battle of Stalingrad. Raised from the depths, it is not just a metallic object, but a symbol of unparalleled resilience and tragedy. Modern restorers rebuilt it as proof that even in the most hopeless conditions, memory, pride, and affirmation that heroes do not die as long as their memory lives are preserved. All these findings, buried within the earth, the ocean depths, and historical archives, are not just archaeological discoveries. They are strategic keys to understanding entire periods of history, offering new interpretations of events, rethinking tools of power and force. Modern technologies enable us to uncover secrets hidden for centuries, reveal the truth where it once seemed impossible. Each discovery is not only a testament to the past, but also a challenge to the future, gateways to new understanding that change outdated versions of history, reevaluate the roles of heroes and villains, and correct the mosaic of global conflicts assembled over centuries. These findings expand the boundaries of our memory. They demonstrate that the role of technology and archaeology in reconstructing the past is immeasurably important. The ability to uncover hidden secrets not only restores the chronology of events, but also helps us understand the inner spirit of an era. What was the true purpose of those years? Who held the final victory? How did the struggle for power and influence unfold? Answers to these questions today lie in the details, in the specifics of discoveries, curiosity, and the persistence of researchers. And perhaps the most important question is not what has already been found and revealed, but what awaits us in the future. Can each new discovery overturn our understanding of the past? Can the most significant secrets kept for centuries change our view of heroes and villains, victory and defeat? In this sense, archaeology, technology, and humanity's unquenchable quest for truth become our allies. Because the truth is already close. It waits at the bottom of seas, in the depths of the earth, in forgotten bunkers and archives of those eras that have forever remained in the past. And when we speak of scale, of forces, and dark secrets hidden for centuries, we realize that perhaps finding the truth is not as difficult as it seems. It is only a matter of our desire to look deeper, decipher more complex clues, and trust the facts. It is through unique discoveries, through stories of forgotten and hidden aspects of history, that we can uncover the truth. And the fate of that truth is in our hands. In the silence of an era long gone, countless treasures of memory are hidden. Artifacts, documents, remains that hold not only facts, but also the emotional depth of past events. These material evidences are like keys to locked doors of the past, and their significance extends beyond mere archaeological interest. They shape modern historiography, help understand the causes and consequences of major tragedies, and provide opportunities to restore the lost face of an era that helped shape today's world. Analyzing these findings is not merely an academic task. It is a challenge that governs all research policies, striving for objectivity and truth. In every artifact discovered, every document from those times, lie testimonies of human destinies, mistakes, tragedies, and heroism. And their role is not limited to restoring history. How we interpret these findings today determines our future. We can rely on facts that have been forgotten, hidden, or distorted. And thanks to new technologies, methods of storage and study, these testimonies gain new strength. They are capable of once and for all changing our views on events long shrouded in the fog of myths and propaganda. This is where their mysterious potential lies. They can become the starting point for new research, trigger a reassessment of data that has long seemed irrefutable. They help restore forgotten monuments and memorial sites, revive forgotten eras, and give voice back to times that have long been lost in time. Reconstructed from ruins or found in the most unexpected places, artifacts with each new discovery enrich our historical narrative with new details, nuances, and testimonies. This process is not only about gathering pieces of the puzzle from the past, but also about rethinking the very essence of historical inquiry, because it is within these fragments that the truth about those who fought, suffered, and perhaps even betrayed or forgotten is concealed. The latest advances in science and technology expand the horizons of our capabilities, allowing us not merely to document the state of discoveries, but to recreate the image of an era in minute detail, transforming material evidence into a vivid, dynamic history. Museums, exhibitions, interactive displays, virtual reality, all of these broaden perceptions, making the memory of the past alive and tangible. But most importantly, they help us ask questions that previously no one could. What exactly is their significance? Who left these artifacts and why? How do they alter our view of the past? And what new insights do they reveal? Is it not about understanding? What is the true value of human life? What was the real scale of tragedy? And where the possibilities of future research may lead? An unyielding challenge for scientists, historians, and archaeologists is not only to find what has been lost, but to immerse themselves in the spirit of the times to decode the meanings embedded in the clues. By integrating new technologies, 3D modeling, radiation analysis, laser scanning into archaeological practice, we create new opportunities to restore the full picture of the world of those years. Lost shipwrecks, personal belongings, and documents attesting to people's fates. All this transforms into a more vivid, more authentic representation of the era. And each new artifact, whether found in the depths of ocean basins or hidden in abandoned tombs, has the potential to change our usual perception of the Battle of the Atlantic or the Normandy landing. It can shed light on elusive details that are crucial for understanding the scope of the tragedy, because every personal item or document is a link connecting us to the reality of that time. And what about secret bunkers, clandestine treasure vaults, or zones hiding intelligence activities? Every discovery is not only a window into the past, but also a challenge to the long-held myths that have kept modern minds in captivity. Equally important are studies that uncover the secret labyrinths of archives, especially those related to covert operations, experiments in closed laboratories, and underground projects that have long only been whispered about in shadows. These witnesses of an invisible war and hidden intrigues often remain inaccessible to the general public. However, with the help of modern digitization and analytical methods, they begin to come to life, once again becoming pieces of a larger puzzle. Each new layer of information allows us to reshape our understanding, perhaps more precise, more daring, more profound. In ensuring that every artifact finds its place in the historical panorama lies the chance to restore justice and comprehend the true scope of human and technological achievement. It is precisely technology that shapes the visions of future research. For example, 3D reconstruction of destroyed objects allows us to relive what was lost, while radiation monitoring helps eliminate dangers for researchers, simultaneously revealing unexplored aspects of those times. All of this not only expands the possibilities of investigation, but also opens doors to new questions. Finally, every piece of discovered history is a challenge to those who believe in false notions, myths, or distortions. Those attempting to rewrite or silence the truth encounter evidence that is disadvantageous to ignore. And this is the main point. Artifacts help us not only understand the past, but also combat inaccurate versions of history and myths imposed on society. In the future, through joint efforts of scientists, archaeologists, and technologists, we can create a more complete and objective picture, one that will not be distorted by propaganda or omissions. This is where immense potential lies, to uncover new secrets, reveal unseen facets, and reevaluate established dogmas, with each new discovery becoming a step toward a full, genuine truth. So what then will be the role of new finds? They can finally dismantle myths, understand who left these artifacts and why, and what these evidences will tell us about the people, heroism, and tragedy. How will the technologies of the future hide unprecedented treasures within the folds of history? And are we ready to unveil new secrets that could change our perception, not only of the past, but also of the future? Where should we look for answers when the mysteries of the past shine brighter on the horizon of research? And what else is hidden behind the veil of time, waiting for its moment to change our destinies and our understanding of the world?